All right, let's go ahead and get down into it on a Thursday afternoon. This is the Color Revolution. Some of y'all already know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. For others, it might be your first introduction to it. But recently, I believe it was just this past weekend, there was a trailer that was dropped by Disney promoting their upcoming movie, the live adaptation of The Little Mermaid, dropping in May of 2023, I believe. Now, I know Disney, for one reason or another, for several reasons or another, actually, has been quite the divisive topic within the past year or so. I feel like it always is. People have strong opinions one way or the other, but especially with the political goings-on, jockeying between Walt Disney World and Ron DeSantis down in Florida. Disney's been in the news a lot lately, some good, some bad, a lot of in between, but everybody's got a reaction to it. Anyone who knows me knows me and my family, we are huge Disney fans, not uncommon. I mean, I have 2 young kids, as many of y'all know, but they're not the reason we're Disney fans. We've been, my wife and I have been married 11 years, and we were going to movies, Disney movies by ourselves, no kids, just for our own enjoyment, before we even had them. Went to Disney World a couple times. My first times going to Disney World were before we had kids. So it's just it's part of the deal, part and parcel of being part of the Felder family. I actually think she's calling me right now. I have to call her back. But yeah, actually it was really cogent to me because The Little Mermaid happens to be my wife's favorite Disney film. Now, my favorite Disney film is not The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid came out, I believe, in 1986, the cartoon adaptation that everybody knows. Mermaids, of course, have been in folklore for centuries, going back to Greek mythology and even before. But the Little Mermaid that most of us know and that the Disney property is going to be based on is the first cartoon based in 1986. And yeah, it's her favorite Disney movie. Mine is it was Finding Nemo for the longest time. And it recently supplanted, depending on the day, 1A and 1B, it's Coco and Encanto. I absolutely love it. Maybe it's just the Latin flair for me, reminds me of home, but those are my 2 favorite Disney films. But always had a lot of respect for The Little Mermaid. Anybody who's even a casual Disney fan knows the property and knows the property pretty well. So I saw the trailer when it dropped, didn't really know there was a whole lot of discussion or controversy around it, one way or the other, until I started seeing some of the commentary on social media and other places. The big story, and this is what we're going to get into in the title of the live stream, the big story is about the casting of Halle Bailey, and I have to make sure I'm pronouncing that right, because every time I see her name I want to say Halle Berry, but Halle Berry is a different generation, also non-white actress, a very good one, but Halle Bailey is far younger, cast for The Little Mermaid, and the big kerfuffle is not over talent necessarily, but over pigmentation. She is not a Caucasian woman, very beautiful. I assume that she's black. Black people can come from a wide range of ethnic backgrounds, obviously. Let's just say not Caucasian it was the casting for the role, and that caused quite a stir with some people one way or the other. And I have my feelings on so-called race swapping in established properties, that there's right ways and wrong ways to do it. And of course, we all know Disney is going to promote themselves as the wokest of the woke out there, and they have been known before to just swap races, inject their own agendas, as many companies do, but Disney is the biggest one out there. So at first blush, a lot of us, especially on the right side of the aisle, kind of reacted to it as, this is just another one of those things. But I actually started thinking about it a little bit more. And again, I don't expect everyone to agree or disagree with me. I mean, some of y'all have sworn off Disney completely, and I respect that. Others of y'all are, in the same boat as me, and some of y'all might just shade it one way or the other, and that's fine. Where I kind of come down on it is, what was the purpose of the race swap? And does it, more importantly, does it affect the property or affect the story in a tangible way? And I'll give you a bad example of that. Recently, I think it was within the past year, the Marvel Comics, they swapped races for, well, a bunch of characters, but the most noteworthy was Thor. They gave us a black Thor, and it wasn't just that he was a black Thor. It was a black jive-talking, graffiti painting, that sort of stereotypically black Thor, and it really changed the entire tenor of the character. One, Thor is a god from Norse mythology, obviously going to be a white-skinned, Caucasian, long hair, blue eyes. So just to swap him based on that and nothing else, just so that you could get some really unique comic panels, I'm not really about that at all. That changes the entire mythos and ethos behind the character itself on a fundamental level. Now, other race swaps that have been proposed, for example, we've seen some people say, hey, Idris Elba could play James Bond as 007. I'm actually more inclined to agree with people who say that, because 007, there's some debate on it, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a title, and as long as the character is essentially British and can do all the spy things, then we can kind of work with that just fine. Where I come down with for the Little Mermaid, using a non-white actress as her casting is, okay, how does that change the story? So, I mean, we know the story of Little Mermaid, and then the original Disney cartoon, which again, this is going to be mostly an homage to. Race was not a point of emphasis at all in the story. It didn't drive the story. I think her most prominent characteristic was having red hair, which of course is a mostly Caucasian characteristic, but not to the point where a skin color change is going to affect the total outcome and feel of the story. Obviously, she's talented. If anyone actually watched the trailer, the girl can sing, and not just sing. She can sing. It's I'm always impressed by that, because I can't sing worth a lick. So I always have great respect for those who can. But at the end of the day, it always has to be about why there was a race swap happening, and even if it was for so-called woke purposes, what we always talk about it on this channel, and what I always hope for at the end of the day, is that it's based on merit, and based on what I can see now. The movie has not come out yet. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a talent issue with the casting of Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid. Obviously, she can sing. She looks the part. She's, kind of has that precocious look and streak about her, a little bit mischievous. As far as I'm concerned, the spirit of the character is still very much intact, and that's really what I care about. I don't really think it needs to be about necessarily representation. The way my wife and I present things to our kids, we're not like, hey, this Disney character looks like you, this Disney character is like you can be like them. Like we've presented them the 1986 Little Mermaid just fine. We present them, obviously my favorite movies are Hispanic, Latino based in origin, and that hasn't been an issue, so I don't foresee this being an issue at all, regardless. But beyond that, I think people are actually kind of knee-jerking. The casting that I found the most problematic, if there was going to be a problem, was the casting of Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. And now, as we all know, or anyone who knows the story well can attest, the character of Ursula really makes or breaks the entire Little Mermaid story, at least in the Disney universe. The song, or the number, Poor Unfortunate Soul, it's not the best known of all of the Little Mermaid songs, but it's probably the best song in the movie. And I don't know if they're going to go all out musical with it. I know Halle Bailey can sing. I do not know really if Melissa McCarthy can sing, but I know that you get two things with her. You either get a really good acting job, or you get something that's extremely campy. So I'm hoping that for the spirit of the movie, that it doesn't end up being just something campy and cheesy. If anything is going to make or break the live adaptation of The Little Mermaid, it's not going to be the skin color of Halle Bailey. It's going to be whether Melissa McCarthy is cast as a decent Ursula, or whether her character ends up dragging down the film. So that's what I'm most interested in, and And I hope that that's what most of us will focus on at the end of the day, assuming, once again, that you're interested in anything that Disney does. And if you're not, that's okay too. But yeah, let us know what you think about it. I know there's been a lot of discussion on it, one way or the other. I always try to take a very measured approach to these things. I actually don't even know Damani's take on the issue at all. We don't always see eye to eye on things. We do our own thing on this channel. We're brothers, but we're not identical. So he may have a completely different take, and he's a smart guy. So I'd advise you listen to him as well. But yeah, let us know what you have to say. Let us know what you're thinking about the casting of Halle Bailey and the casting of Melissa McCarthy in the new upcoming Disney movie Little Mermaid. Will you be watching it? Won't you be watching it? What do you think about mermaids in general? I mean, we can go all the way back. Like, at the end of the day, we know mermaids aren't real. And actually, if you go back to their origin, mermaids are freaking monsters. They are not nice people, at least in the original mythology, the Greek mythology anyway. So maybe we shouldn't fight too hard about who gets to play a not so innocent character at the end of the day. But I digress. I get a little bit nerdy with it, but like I said, I'm a Disney fan. I love the story, love the property, but I'm still probably going to be watching it in Encanto for the umpteenth time and enjoying every minute of it. So anyway, hope all y'all have a great rest of your Thursday, great rest of your week. Good luck to your college and pro football teams if they are taken to the gridiron, and try to spend some time around your family and loved ones. And if you can't spend time, send them some good vibes, good thoughts, just like Damani and I will be sending out to the rest of y'all. So anyway, y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.